If all you care about is your total testosterone levels, you're missing a very big piece of the puzzle.
Hey babe, did you wash the dishes yet?
I can't do the dishes. I'm high test.
Boy, shut your ass up. Your SHBG too high. Your testosterone's not even usable.
In this video, I'm going to be covering what net androgen status is. Take a look at this question right here. Who do you think feels better? A man with 650 nanograms per deciliters of testosterone or a man with 1,000 plus nanograms per deciliter of testosterone? The answer is really going to shock you because it's going to be the man with 650 nanograms per deciliters of testosterone. And you're probably hearing this and being like, what? So is less better? I thought your whole channel was all about test maxing and increasing your natural testosterone. Well, I only say test maxing because that's just an easier way to say it. What I really mean is raising your net androgen status. But unfortunately, this term is not very good for marketing. For example, I would never tell people, oh yeah, I'm net androgen status maxing, too many fucking syllables. My brain is too small for that. So I'm just going to say test maxing. But let me explain what net androgen status really is. So let's go over here and let's take a look at this photo. You don't have to look at this photo right now, but it's going to be very important in just a second. What determines your net androgen status? Your net androgen status is a combination of all of these hormones: your total testosterone, free testosterone, SHBG, DHT, estradiol, prolactin, your androgen receptor signaling, and your overall health, sleep, nutrition, body composition, and resistance training. So it's a very big combination of all of these things. But what exactly is net androgen status and how does it affect the way that you feel? Now let's look at these two examples right here. When you're only looking at your total testosterone, think of your total testosterone like money that's inside of a savings account. I don't know about you guys, but when I try to take money out of my savings account, it usually takes 3 to 5 business days. And that's kind of annoying. So essentially, total testosterone isn't necessarily always bioavailable in your body. Net androgen status is like the money that's in your checking account. That money can be used now. You got to go buy groceries, you can use your checking account. You got to pay some bills, you use your checking account. It's always bioavailable. It's ready to be used and it's available at all times and can be spent immediately. I want to show you guys a little case study that I created over here. So in case A, we have a man who is 1,000 nanograms per deciliters of total testosterone, but he has high SHBG, low free testosterone, low DHT, high prolactin, and he has relatively normal estrogen levels. The result of this is he's going to have low libido, low energy, poor gym performance, and feels low T. But how does that make sense? He has really high total testosterone. He's 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. How can he feel like shit? Well, let's look at case B over here. This man right here is 650 nanograms per deciliters of total testosterone, but he has healthy SHBG levels. He has very high free testosterone. He has healthy DHT levels, normal prolactin levels, and normal estrogen levels. What is the result of this? Strong libido, great recovery, builds muscle very well, and feels amazing. And this is something that I often overlooked because I used to only care about my total testosterone this, total testosterone that. I don't care about anything else. I just want to boost that number. But people got to remember all of these matter. And all of these in combination make your net androgen status. You need to remember that it only takes one of these hormones to go out of balance to ruin your net androgen status. For example, your SHBG. SHBG stands for sex hormone binding globulin. It's a hormone that actively attaches itself to other hormones in your body, like your total testosterone. If you have very high SHBG, like in this case study right here, where this guy has 1,000 nanograms per deciliters of total testosterone, but he also has high SHBG, meaning that his SHBG is actively attaching to a lot of his total testosterone and making it essentially unusable. So your blood might have a lot of testosterone running through it, but how much of it is actually usable? Because when SHBG goes up, generally your free testosterone also goes down. And let's look at this guy as well. He has high prolactin. How do you raise your prolactin levels? The easiest way to raise your prolactin levels is through orgasm. So this guy is probably a fucking D1 gooner. If you're gooning, like, especially in the fucking middle of the day, you're going to raise your prolactin levels and ruin the rest of your day. I mean, not literally, but like, Like, have you ever seen someone that fucking jerks off before the gym? I mean, I fucking hope not. I fucking hope not, but maybe you've done this yourself. Maybe you've like jerked off before the gym or you had sex before the gym and then you noticed that your lifts just weren't as good and you just felt like shit. That's due to high prolactin. This is why you want to regulate your prolactin levels. Make sure that throughout the day you have very low prolactin and ideally, you want to avoid as many necessary prolactin releases as possible. But if sometimes they're unavoidable, especially when you're talking to a lot of women. You're gonna fucking release some prolactin eventually. Just optimize the release of your prolactin. Release at the end of the day. Fucking have sex at night. So at least, after that you feel like shit at night and then you just fucking go to bed. But anyways, this case study was just to show you guys like why total testosterone is kind of overrated in a sense. I'm not telling you you shouldn't shoot for 1,000 if that's your goal, because that's what I'm going for. I want to have 1,000 nanograms per deciliters of total testosterone, but I don't want to do that if that means raising my SHBG or lowering my free testosterone, because all of these are more important to me. What's more important is how much of your testosterone is actually usable, how much of it is bioavailable. So what can you actually do to raise your net androgen status? So that's what I made this chart for. I went like very briefly into each hormone and how you can optimize them. Let's look at raising your total testosterone. It's honestly very easy. You just have a diet centered around nutrient dense foods like red meat and eggs. And I have another video on that if you want to optimize your diet. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, resistance training, maintaining a healthy body composition, morning sunlight and circadian rhythm. Avoid prolonged calorie restriction, so don't go on a cut for too long. And try to minimize seed oils as much as possible and stay away from highly processed foods. Now, a lot of these are going to actually double dip into each other. For example, let's go look at raising your free testosterone. Lower your SHBG if it's elevated, adequate carbohydrate intake, or, again, avoiding unnecessary cuts or lowering your body fat too much, optimizing your thyroid health, correcting any deficiencies that you have, particularly with zinc, magnesium, or vitamin D if present. Now, here's actually some things that we have studied before in the past that have, pretty weak evidence, but it's definitely something to consider. Boron. Taking boron can actually lower your SHBG and increase your free testosterone. The evidence is mixed, but it's definitely something to consider. And it's actually something that I personally do. And for me, it has actually raised my free testosterone by over 25%. So that's only anecdotal evidence, but it's definitely worth trying. Always try to get your minerals from foods. But if you can't, then just supplement them. For example, boron is very hard to get. I think 3 milligrams of boron is like eating 2 whole avocados or something. And that's kind of crazy, like especially when I was cutting, I could not do that. But if that's something that you can do, then definitely go for it. But for boron, the recommended dose is 3 to 9 milligrams. Same with Tonka Ali. The evidence is mixed, but it and some studies have shown that taking Tonka Ali can raise your free testosterone. Definitely something to try. The biggest thing for raising your free testosterone, at least in my case, was training with maximum intensity. You need to force your body to actually use the testosterone that it's making, that it's producing. How do you do this? Train with maximum intensity. When you go to the gym, push the weight, make it fly. Stop caring so much about the form. Obviously, don't injure yourself. Don't be an idiot. But trying to be a science-based lifter and trying to like optimize all of your lifts, some fucking nerd shit. Just throw the weight. Train with intensity. Fucking groan if you need to. Don't care about what others think about, oh, he's fucking slamming the weights and being loud as shit. Fuck that shit. Just throw the weight up. Get it up and train with intensity. Compete with other people. Compete with your friends around you. You see your buddy loading up 2 plates and he's about to rep that shit. Fucking you better be repping that shit too. Okay, not literally. Okay, not literally. If you can't rep 225, to fucking lower the weight to something that you can do. But you get the point. Train with maximum intensity. Again, we're gonna go down to lowering your SHBG levels if it's high. If your SHBG levels are too high, that means a lot of your fucking total testosterone is being locked away by SHBG, and it's being locked away and it's lowering your free testosterone. So eat enough calories. Boron has also been shown to lower your SHBG levels, as shown in this section over here. But for this one, you want to avoid overtraining. If you feel fatigued and you feel like shit every day because you're training like 3 times a day, or well, that's crazy, like 2 times a day or something, because I know I've done that before. Just cut it down a little bit. it's better to train with maximum intensity for a shorter period of time than it is for a prolonged period of time. Especially with training, because I used to be a fucking nerd who liked to do like 4 sets on every workout for like 12 to 15 reps. Like that's not really that good, to be honest. I would much rather do 2 hard sets of 6 to 8 reps to failure on a workout and then call it good. Because you can take both of those workouts to failure, and I promise you're gonna see way more results than if you were to be doing super long 3-hour workouts, 4 sets per workout, going 12 to 15 reps on like for every single set. That's fucking bullshit. Don't do that. Train with intensity again. So these two kind of double dip right here. For raising your DHT levels, there's no real like there's no supplement for this. There's no trick or biohack to raising your DHT levels. It's all just about raising your total testosterone. Creatine has also been shown to raise your DHT levels a little bit. Definitely something to consider. However, if you're already eating a diet high in fat and high in cholesterol, you're likely already eating a lot of red meat, and red meat has a lot of creatine already in it. So you don't really need to be supplementing it. So for raising your DHT levels, there's no trick. Live a good, clean life. Raise your total testosterone. Eat high fat and high cholesterol, at least 1.5 grams per day, and then have your creatine. But your creatine's already in the food, so you don't even need to supplement it. If you have very high estrogen levels, especially during development, for example, if you're a teenager and you have gyno, you probably have very high estrogen slash estradiol levels. What you can do then at this point is be at a healthier body fat. You probably have high estrogen levels because you're fucking fat. You're probably over 25% body fat. Get down to like 15, maybe even 12 if you can. Eat raw carrots as well. Now, this is also very weak evidence, but eating raw carrots has some weak evidence showing that you can actually lower your estrogen levels eating raw carrots, because raw carrots are an estrogen inhibitor. So it's going to get rid of any excess estrogen that you have. Now, also, you can also fucking smoke cigarettes for this, apparently. I mean, I don't smoke. I'm actually very against smoking, but smoking cigarettes has actually been shown to lower estrogen levels. If you're already a heavy smoker and you fucking like doing that shit, then go for it. But if you're gonna do that, make sure you have some high quality cigars, at least, please. Don't just be using those like fucking, you know what I mean. Also, avoiding alcohol at all costs. Alcohol is very estrogenic, gonna give you fucking man boobs. So stay away from alcohol as much as possible. As for avoiding unnecessary prolactin release, it's very simple. Limit your fucking gooning. Stop gooning. Get your hand out of your fucking pants. Because every single time that you goon and you and you fucking orgasm, you're going to have a really massive prolactin release. I'm not saying go on nofap, because I believe that nofap is also kind of bullshit, but just don't fucking goon twice a day. Don't even goon once a day, maybe just a few times per week. Like, I'm not telling people to just quit gooning forever. Like, I know gooning's fucking awesome, you know? Oh, like, 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 cause I live with my girlfriend. I'm not gonna fucking, like just quit having sex because I don't want to have an unnecessary prolactin release. No, but just time your prolactin releases. If you're gonna have sex or you're gonna do some fucking freaky ass shit, at least do it later in the day, at night. At night would probably be the most optimal time, because think about it. It's fucking 10 p.m. You're with a woman, and things get freaky. You have a prolactin release, and then what? You just fucking knock out on the bed. Now you're gonna have a good night's worth of sleep. So this is actually optimal gooning times, okay? 10 p.m., 11 p.m., like right before bed, that is the best prolactin release gooning time, okay? So, yeah. Anyways, just to close out this video, just remember, your total testosterone is only one piece of the puzzle. You want to be optimizing all of these things, all of these hormones. And it's a lot easier than you think. You don't have to go into every single individual hormone and like do research on how exactly to fucking optimize every single one of them. Just make sure to have the basics down. Like optimizing your total testosterone will more often than not optimize all these other hormones. Have a very good diet, a very good clean diet. consisting of mainly red meat and eggs and a bunch and other good whole foods. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Resistance train. Compete with other men. Look at the sun as much as you can. At least be in the sun for 1 hour a day. More if you can. More, especially more if you're a darker skinned human. If you have a darker skin tone, you want to be in the sun more than just 1 hour. You want to avoid prolonged calorie restriction. You don't want to be in cuts for too long. That's why it's better to just do aggressive cuts for like maybe 1 to 3 months and then stop and then refeed your body because you're gonna tank your hormones. Stay away from seed oils. Stay away from highly processed foods. Stay away from as much microplastics as you can. Obviously, microplastics, like there's not evidence showing that it's going to like crazy affect your testosterone, but it definitely affects it a little bit. And if you care about optimizing your hormonal health, you should do that. You should definitely stay away from as much as you can. But anyways, yeah, this is a video on how to fucking optimize your net androgen status. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Definitely like the video, subscribe. Give me more suggestions on what types of videos that you guys want to see next because I'm running out of ideas. I gotta find more shit to do. But anyways, yeah, see ya.